those were a lot of fun. And it's interesting because I remember from that celebration, I could tell from listening to Dave Filoni that something was amiss. That I felt like he was this was still a year, I think, before the announcement that the show would end. Because it was the premiere of season 5. So, but I could tell that he was lobbying for the show to be able to continue, and I thought, how odd if it's the start of a season. How odd that he seems so uncertain about the future. Little did any of us know that at that time, behind the scenes, George, I think, was just starting to talk to Disney about selling the company. So I think Dave Filoni might have known something then. So doing that, and then in the future, once I got to writing about Star Wars, getting to meet some of the different actors in person, and get to know them a little bit. Sam Witwer's always been very generous with his time to me and other people. I've met him in person several times and interviewed him for my Stormtroopers book, and he's very generous with his time. I've chatted with D. Bradley Baker to interview for books. He's great. Ashley's just wonderful. She just always surprises me. Every time I see her, she knows my name, and she'll like with you. She'll always stop and chat no matter how busy she is. She just seems to know everybody's name, even if they've just briefly met her. She's got, I'd say it's an amazing talent, but I know that's a deliberate thing to work at, for her to make that effort to learn people's names. It's, and I've met Dave Filoni a few times. I was lucky enough to have dinner with him and his wife and some friends once at a New York Comic Con. Wow. So I've been privileged through the work that I do as a Star Wars writer, to meet these people and to hang out little bits here and there over the years. And they're just such a great group of people that work on this show, and all these voice actors. They're really quality human beings. I can't say enough about them. Good, especially Ashley and James Arnold Taylor and Matt and all the different ones. They're all great. They're all great human beings beyond just good Star Wars actors and good creatives and contributors. So it's been a real pleasure to have them, in Star Wars.
Excellent. Well said. Well said. Excellent. David, how about you, my friend?
Oh my gosh. Well, that was so great to hear about that. I didn't know, Adam, that you had dinner with Dave Filoni and his wife. Oh my gosh. I would just, wow, to be a fly on the wall. That is so cool. I'm going to mirror what you guys said. I know for me, I've said it on this show before, and I'd said it tonight, that, I have really fond memories of going to the Clone Wars movie in August of 2008, and then my son and all his buddies having their epic lightsaber battle in front of the Regal 16 here in Ocala, Florida. They just had such a great time there. And then, like both of you said, another great source of memories for me regarding the Clone Wars are these voice actors. And Adam summed it up so well. These persons, you think about people you see on TV or in movies, but through Star Wars weekends, I was born and raised in Michigan, and I think that's where Adam is right now. Are you up there, buddy?
Right.
Yeah. And so as a kid
growing
up,
I am.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were in northern Michigan. I was raised in central Michigan. Now I live in central Florida, not too far from Aaron. And so it's been such a, I mean, growing up in Michigan, you just don't go to Disney at the drop of a hat. And now that my wife and I live here and our kids, being able to take them down there has been just surreal at times. And just like Aaron said, I've gone to Star Wars weekends, and that's where I really got to meet Aaron and go from there. But um, like both of you have said, getting to meet James Arnold Taylor there, Ashley Eckstein, D. Bradley Baker, Tom Kane, Kat Tabor, remember seeing her there, Sam Witwer. There's two especially incredible memories. In fact, I grabbed it here tonight. I was watching it just before we got on, but it's from June 7th of 2013, and Star Wars Weekends 2013, and Eli got to go up on stage with James Arnold Taylor, with Ashley. He was standing right next to Ashley, and Tom Kane was there, and they ran through like a little short episode of the Clone Wars. Not any episodes that we've seen, but just written for Star Wars Weekends. And I was watching the video that I took of Eli on stage. He's I think 11 at the time. Am I right? Let me think. Wait. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, about 10. And it's so neat to see him up there on stage with these voices that we continued to hear all the way through 2020. But just how nice James was to Eli, and how nice Ashley was, and Tom Kane, and people that I love hearing their voices. But just like Adam said, they're just really decent human beings, and there's not a lot out there. I'm a clinical psychologist, and holy mackerel, there's a lot of not good people out there. But these voice actors, these actors, have been just incredible ambassadors for Star Wars. I mean, goodness. And just like Adam had mentioned with Sam Witwer, I remember being there at Star Wars Weekends, and my wife and I are standing there with Eli and Lena, and we wanted to get a picture of Eli and Lena on the speeder that was right across from the the exit to Star Tours. And we had gotten pictures of the kids on that speeder from Endor, from Return of the Jedi, but Chewbacca was in front of it, and I think maybe a couple Ewoks. So we thought we would do that. So we're standing in line, and I look over, and I know, because I've been to so many Star Wars Weekends where James Arnold Taylor and Ashley Eckstein come out and they walk from that area over to the Premiere Theater. It's all Galaxy's Edge now, but at the time, it was right there. And so I see James Arnold Taylor walking out with Sam Witwer, and where they're going is going to be, just right, between us to head over to one of the shows that Aaron was mentioning. So my daughter, I thought, had the neatest little thing, and she looks at Sam Witwer and she says, "Can I get a high five?" And she was just little, and just like Adam said, just such a nice person. He comes over to Lena, gives her a big high five, smiles at her. A Sith Lord, right? Maul, smiling and being so nice to Lena, and it just was so neat. There was no pretentiousness. There wasn't, hey, I'm going to do this. I don't really want to be here. I live in California, but I don't know why I'm down here in Florida doing this. None of that. And it was just so neat and so memorable to me, not only as a Star Wars fan, but as a dad, as a parent, and just seeing these individuals interact with my children is just, I love it. It's so gratifying. So for me, there's so many wonderful, positive memories, but that's part of being fortunate enough to be down here and to be able to get over there and see some of these things. So just a lot of wonderful memories from the Clone Wars.
Excellent. We all got some great memories there of the Clone Wars, and it was such a great show in and of itself. So any final thoughts that you want to share on the epic series that is the Clone Wars? Any final thoughts, any final statements, anything about the Clone Wars? Adam, we'll start with you.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, I guess we're led to believe that they want to wrap the Clone Wars up, and this is the end, and it's a good time to move on now. But there are still a lot of unfinished arcs left in the Clone Wars. We have, I presume, must still be on the Star Wars website. There's that whole 4-episode Utapau arc that was only half finished as animatics, and there's at least half a dozen other story arcs that we've seen bits and pieces of unfinished that Dave has shown at conventions, and I'm sure there's even more. So I might suggest if you want to see more. There's no reason, that a year or two from now they couldn't surprise us, with just random arcs here and there. So I might suggest, for fans, go ahead and ask for it. Go ahead and push for it if you'd like to see more. You've got nothing to lose. It's Disney Plus is always going to need new content, so they might surprise us someday.
That's very true. That's very true. That's a good idea. I mean, after all, when the series ended and we had the hashtag Save Clone Wars started up, who would have thought that all these years later we'd get another season like this? So we have a voice.
They are hiring at Lucasfilm Animation. There are some new job postings, so they're gearing up for something. So and that should probably go without saying at this point with Disney Plus. They're always going to need new content, so they're always going to be hiring for that sort of thing. But so they have the capability to do it. It's not like when Disney first bought the company and shut all that down and everybody left the company that was working on it, where they actually had to bring them all back because they'd left in order to do this. They're going to always have people at the company now, so it's not as hard to do as it was.
Very true, very true. Well said, well said. David, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I think Adam set it up perfectly. I was looking on Twitter, and I've obviously followed Adam on Twitter and done that back and forth, and he's always so fun to interact with there. And just like he was saying, when I look now, I see people posting screenshots of those animatics that Adam just mentioned. That arc is what the Crystal Crisis on Utapau, and just like he said, there's some animatics and stuff like that we got to see at StarWars.com. I was thinking about, I think it was in 2017 at Celebration. I remember seeing some stuff that I think Dave Filoni and Pablo Hidalgo put on screen, showing Boba Fett and Cad Bane at a shootout, and that's how we'd gotten the indentation on Boba Fett's helmet, right? So there is a lot, and I see, like you mentioned, Aaron, the hashtag Save the Clone Wars. The hashtag now that I see, along with some of these things that Adam mentioned, was, I think it's hashtag Finish the Clone Wars or Complete the Clone, something like that. You got to forgive me, but there's another hashtag. I like what you said, Adam, that a year from now they could just throw it up. They wouldn't even have to do a week in between. They could just put a download a 4-episode arc like that, and be just kind of fun to see. But there's a lot. I mean, there was stuff about the Yuzong Vong. They were talking about that. Obviously, Dark Disciple was 8 episodes, I believe. The Christie Golden novel I'm looking at right in front of me. But there is a lot. I don't know that they will, particularly with this kind of ending. But a year or two from now, I could see them doing it. You're not going to hear me say not to do it. I'd love to see it. But we'll see what they end up saying, or what they end up doing.
Well said, well said. I really can't top what either of y'all said. I mean, it was the